All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakah Kadash. I want to say and give double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching us his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim, the hopeful elect, the elect, low room with some of those men and women that believe in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, I'm the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you another quick lesson. This lesson was inspired by this video that you see right here in front of you. It was posted by Elder Apostle Gabar on his page. It's entitled "Stop It with the Pious Nonsense About Prostitutes. Hookup culture is a woman's preference," right? And it says these holier than thou charlatans inflame the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son. Right, and exactly, because that's what these people are doing. When I say these people, you got these false Israelite leaders, these different Israelite groups that want to try to virtue signal themselves as if, they use a term which is called virtue signaling to basically become those friendly neighborhood Israelites. You know, in this particular instance, Bishop Nate is speaking about particular camps, which really he's talking about Great Millstone. Says you can deal with prostitutes and it's okay in Yahweh Shai, which I'm gonna play what he said. But real quick, I want to read this precept. This is before I open up, this is Isaiah 65 and 5. All right, Isaiah 65 verse 5, and this is that precept that the apostle was alluding to in his description. Isaiah 65 and 5, right? It says, matter of fact, I'll start at 3. This is Isaiah 65 and 3. It says, matter of fact, I'll start at 1. I am sought of them that asked not for me. I am found of them that sought me not. I said, behold me unto a nation that was not called by my name. And that's referring to the Israelites that will become Gentiles in the mind, right? because Jake is a rebellious people. When we knew the Lord, Jake didn't want to follow the Lord and wouldn't believe in the Lord as we were supposed to. Then when we got disconnected, we starting with the elect, sought the Lord even more. You know what I mean? And then the Lord put the Spirit on us to wake up to this truth, all right? To come back to Him, right? And because at once we were a people that weren't called by the Lord's name. Right, we called everything under the sun but a child of the Most High. And it says, I have spread out my hand all the day unto a rebellious people. This is the Israelites, the tribes, which walk in a way that was not good after their own thoughts, right? The idolatry, the walking after the customs of the heathen, right? A people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifice in gardens and burn incense upon altars of brick, right? And this is an example, Salafi. This is an example of that, you know, where these jakes, they act like they're praising the Lord and right, they're super pious, you know, but then he's calling on Christ, right? That ain't the name of Yahweh Shai, right? Or the Most High, Christ blessed. That ain't the name of the Most High. His name is Yahweh, and his son name is Yahweh Shai, right? And so they don't think that they're doing. This guy thinks that he's doing righteous by pushing the law, right? That's what they push. Well, according to our law, we're allowed to see prostitutes. In the ancient world, that was a norm. It wasn't an oddity. It wasn't abnormal for men to give into such things. That was their prerogative, right? We live in a world today where all the women we deal with once belonged to somebody else. So, in fact, we're committing adultery, right? The Lord said that a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, right? None of the women that we deal with are virgins, and even if you do get you a virgin, it ain't guaranteed that woman gonna stick with you for the rest of her life. She's gonna go out and do what she want to do, and that's a rarity for a man in this society, especially this Western world, to deal with a woman that never dealt with a man. It's a rarity, right? And all these women are paid for play. None of you getting, you putting out. When you deal with a prostitute, you hire her for her services. Well, that's exactly what you're doing with these women. You taking them out on dates, you buying them clothes, you getting their hair and nails done, all with the hopes that you think this woman's gonna lay with you or be with you. When in fact you could just go out and get you a lady of the night, and if you burn any lust, deal with her, and then that's it. You still paying for it. So again, it says, a people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifice in gardens and burn incense upon altars of brick, right? And that's these different idols shaped with reverence. Verse 4, which remain among the graves and lodge in the monuments, which eat of swine's flesh, and the broth of abominable things is in their vessels, which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou. These are smoke in my nose, right? A fire that burneth all day. So it's basically disrespect. And that's what Nate, I don't know why this keep popping up. Salakia. That's what Nate is doing when he tries to push this holier than thou spirit. And I'll play this real quick.
Okay, y'all keep being fooled by these people out here. Mark 9. You got camps here, you can buy prostitutes, and it's good in your house shop. Okay, y'all keep being fooled by these people out here.
Why? Well, this shows a lack of your understanding of ancient Israelite customs, right? This exactly shows your lack of understanding of ancient Israelite customs. I'll type this in Google. All right. I said, did ancient Israelite men use the service of prostitutes? The answer to that is yes. Right? Yes, ancient Israelite men did use the service of prostitutes, though the Bible only mentioned a few isolated incidents. And those dealing with a prostitute wasn't an isolated incident, but the Lord spoke about it in the precepts. Right? You got Judah and Tamar. Judah is our forefather of the tribe of Judah, and Tamar was his daughter-in-law. In Genesis 38, Judah believed he was sleeping with a prostitute, but it was actually his daughter-in-law, Tamar, in disguise. Judah promised to pay her with a sheep from his flock. The Israelites in the desert, in Numbers 25, the Israelites profaned themselves by whoring. Royal decrees. In Judah, there were times when the king issued decrees to expel prostitutes. Prostitution was accepted in Israelite society, though it was also depreciated, right? Because if a woman had to go be a prostitute, her value as a wife would diminish, right? And it was really a disgrace, you know? It says the Bible refers to prostitution without passing moral judgment, but yet this guy, he's passing moral judgment, and he should be the last one to do that, right? He should be the last one to do that, because he doesn't understand our culture. But yet you're pushing the law. Okay? It's not against our laws to do such a thing, right? It's not. If you understood. And it says the Bible refers to prostitution without passing moral judgment. The prophets used prostitution as a literary image for women's faithlessness, right? It says, while many scholars have assumed sacred prostitution, because that's another form of prostitution, right? And that's what a lot of you women are doing, right? You're doing prostitution via idolatry, was practiced in ancient Israel. It says, while many scholars have assumed sacred prostitution was practiced in ancient Israel too, the Bar article, Cult Prostitution in Ancient Israel, by Edward Lipinski, reveals that neither the Bible nor archaeology provides any clear evidence that Israelite religion incorporated the sexual rites of Asherah worship, which we didn't. We didn't, which when our people went off into that idolatry, that's what they did. Temple prostitution. And the Bible forbids that. Right? Especially when it comes to your daughters and sons becoming sodomites. Okay? In what they call religion, in our culture, we didn't practice ritualistic prostitution. But in this Western world that we live in today, that kind of prostitution is practiced at a high level. All right? And they use the term prostitution. Some can't say you can use prostitutes, and it's all good in your house. They say that because they're trying to disparage the great millstone apostles and bishop elders and brothers on down, right? Again, if a man chose to deal with a prostitute, that's his business. Whose business is it? This is the book of Amos 7-17, because guess what? This in ancient Israel, we're priests. We're priests, right? Every Israelite man is supposed to be a priest and a king, right? So the reason why Salaki, man, let me close my door, Salaki. You had it was also going to be a curse that our women were going to be prostitutes, and the Lord showed that via the prophet Amos, and I believe even Hosea, right? Let me get that one real quick in Hosea. Okay, he told Hosea to get with a prostitute, right? I want to say chapter 1, right? Yeah. Let me read this. It says, Hosea's wife and children. It says, the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai that came unto Hosea, the son of Beri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Josiah, the king of Israel. The beginning of the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai by Hosea, and the Lord Yahweh said to Hosea, go, take unto thee a wife of whoredoms, and children of whoredoms, for the land have committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord. Right? Which that's what we did. It wasn't a physical land departed from the Lord. It was us, the Israelites. We gave ourselves to a whoredom by worshiping idols and following after the customs of these nations. Because in ancient Israelite culture, right, if we were to take a woman whom we would have a covenant with between her father and herself, and we had children, typically she had to be a virgin, right? We weren't stepdaddies, right? We weren't taking women that had men already, right? Because there was no value in that marriage. I'm not saying that men didn't do it if a woman was a widow, but typically you would look for a virgin, all right? Because she was pure. And we were supposed to be pure in the sight of Yahweh Bashem Shai, but we went a whore. It says, so he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. And the Lord said unto him, call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. This is the northern kingdom. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. And she conceived again in a daughter, and the Most High said unto him, call her name Leruamah, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away. But I will have mercy on the house of Judah, and will save them save them by the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai their power, and will not save them by the bow, nor by the sword, nor by battle, nor a horse, nor by horsemen. Now when she had weaned Leruamah, she conceived and bare a son. Then said the Most High, call his name Lower Me, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass in the place wherein it was also said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come out of the land, for the great shall be the day of Jezreel. And that's ultimately culminating with the end of this captivity. But where is the place in where we said we weren't the Lord's people? Here in America, right? We lost our total identity. We lost our culture. We lost our language. We lost the name of our God, Yahweh Bashem Shai. It was taken from us for a point in time, right? So going to this is the book of Amos 7:17. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Shai, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. Right? Now, all of that's a curse that was given to our people. The fact that our women are extremely promiscuous. They act the role, they play the role, they dress the role as the prostitute. That's all a curse, right? Any woman that's sharing a virgin and you done with her, bro. One, you commit adultery, right? Which all these things are forgiven through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. But I'm just letting you know what it is. All right? And you playing a role, your woman's a role of a harlot because she's been with more than one man. Come on, bro. In the NLT it says, but this is what Yahweh says. Your wife will become a prostitute in this city, and your sons and daughters will be killed. Your land will be divided up, and you yourselves will die in a foreign land. That's happening to us to this day. And the people of Israel will certainly become captives and exiles far from their homeland. And that's what's going on right now with this. All right. Again, Nate's false virtue signaling shows that he does not know anything about ancient Israelite customs. Okay. This is virtue signaling, is the act of expressing or opinions that align with popular moral values to demonstrate one good character. And then popular moral values, according to Nate in Christianity, right? Oh, you can't deal with a poor prostitute. So you speak against that. But there's no law against it. Our forefathers got down with that, man. What the hell's wrong with you? Right? Let's read this. Genesis 38. Right? Come on, bro. And I'm gonna show you some more proof. Get the hell out of here, man. You guys with your fake false virtue signaling and your fake piousness, man, it's gonna get you destroyed. Right? Because you're worrying about things that don't concern you. The scripture says, let me get that. A man with his maid. Right? A man with his maid. Oh, come on, bro. Bullshit. A man and his maid. Yeah. Proverbs 30 verse 19. The way, I'll start at 18. Verse 18. It says, there be three things which are too wonderful for me, yea, four which I know not. It says, the way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with his maid. Let's read that in the GNT, Proverbs 30 and 19. Right? Proverbs 30 and 19. Right? 30 and 19 in the GNT. Right? It says this. It says, I'll start at 18. There are four things which are too mysterious for me to understand. An eagle flying in the sky, a snake moving on a rock, a ship finding its way over the sea, and a man and a woman falling in love. So you can't deal, you don't know what a man got going on in his life with his woman. That's none of your business. Right? If an Israelite man chose to deal with a prostitute, have more than one wife, guess what? That's part of our culture. But we live in a Western society. So our ancient customs, rights, and religion, or rights and rituals, they go against what we've been shown here in the West. Apostle Tahar used to tell us many years ago that we've been in the goddamn West too long, man. Because Jake has a Western mentality. Here it is, you trying to teach, Jake about his ancient customs, the Eastern ways, right? You trying to teach about the Eastern ways, but then you putting that Western mentality in on top of it, right? By going off, speaking against things that you really don't understand, right? You calling yourself a prophet, you the next one up, liking yourself to King David and all these the holy prophets of ancient Israel, but you don't know, you know very little about the customs of our forefathers. And the reason why
you got camps here, you can buy prostitutes, and it's good in your house. Oh.
The reason why he's speaking against this is because what? That goes against Western mindset. Women believe that you're supposed to be in a strictly monogamous relationship between you and her, right? That's what all these women want, right? Whether they say it or not. These women want you to belong to them, when in reality, they belong to you. These women, they want you to be their property. But in reality, these women are supposed to be the men's property. All right? And anytime you add another woman in that equation, whether she be another woman who's just a regular woman or a prostitute, these women got problems. But then, you get with your woman, she's on a fucking period. You can't fuck on her. What you supposed to do? Sit in the house and get your shit off by yourself? Huh? What you supposed to do? Sit there and fast for 7 days? Hell no. That's what the other women for. That's what the prostitutes are there for. And in the ancient world, a prostitute was, sometimes she could be more than just a woman you laid with. She could be a hired wife. You see what happened to, I think it was a Levite priest. And Benjamin had raped her. Went all crazy on her. But she was a hired wife. Right? That's all she was. She might hire her to clean up your house, to take care of your kids for a certain amount of time, and to lay with you. Okay? It wasn't just that. Getting your rocks off, but you could. But that was your prerogative. Okay? This is from the Bible Odyssey. I bring this out a lot. I've saved it many times before. I'm saving it again. All right. Right? But this is from Bible Odyssey. This is wedding and marriage traditions in ancient Israel. Marriage in ancient Israel involved practices and assumptions different from those of most people living in the Western society today. So that's why this guy doesn't understand the usage of a prostitute. Like Apostle Gabar, even Apostle Tahar was speaking about hookup culture. Because that's what you got in the West, right? What is hookup culture? Right? What is hookup culture, right? Hookup culture is a cultural shift that accepted encourages casual sexual encounters without their expectations of committed relationships, man. And that's what you have in America, especially amongst the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. People just fucking just to be fucking, right? With no responsibilities, right? Nigga, that's prostitution. That's all that shit is. You lay with, you pay her, and you lay with her, and you don't have no commitment to this woman at all. But yet you want to try to act like the women in the West are so pious and sanctified, when all these bitches are sullied, man. Every last one of these women been with multiple men, man. Nigga, it's just your turn. That ain't your woman. It's just your turn. Right? But you don't want to understand that. So like I said, marriage in ancient Israel involved practices and assumptions different from those of most people living in a Western society today. When you skip down right here, it says this: the relationship between husband and wives was not equal in ancient Near East, including Israel. By all, one of the Hebrew words for husband also meant Lord or master. Men had life and death power over women in the case of adultery, which in ancient Israel involved a woman having sex outside of her marriage, or a man having sex with another man's wife. You see? That's what adultery is in our culture. But in this culture, adultery is what? When a man has a wife and he deals with the woman outside of his monogamous relationship, all of a sudden he's committing adultery. Women talking about, oh, he cheating on me. And you women do, y'all do more cheating than the average man in the world. You deal with men and even other women in other cases outside of your marriage because you are emotionally unstable, or you feel like you ain't getting something you want, and you commit all kinds of adultery. Look at social media. It's full of women who got men, but yet these women out here parading naked, acting like a prostitute, dressing like a prostitute, and then get mad when you call them a prostitute. Selling their body on OnlyFans to make money. Got men jacking off to your pictures and your feet while you at home with a whole husband and children. You see? It says again, it says, in the case of adultery, which in ancient Israel involved a woman having sex outside of her marriage, or a man having sex with another man's wife. Men, though, could have multiple wives and concubines and were allowed to go to prostitutes. Thus, monogamy was a one-way street in this culture. Come on, bro. That's the nail in the coffin. Monogamy is for a woman. Monogamy is not for Israelite men. This is the reason why wherever you go, you see Israelite men. You so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians and people that go back to us on your father's side, one of the biggest fucking gripes these women have is that the Israelite man, right, he has to have more than one woman. And you Jakes don't know what you're doing. You just being driven by your physical lust, but you don't understand why is it like that. The Lord told us to what? Be fruitful and multiply. So it's already programmed in us. But we live in a Western society which goes against our righteous programming. And they set it up to where that your life that you live in this world, it can't benefit more than one person at a time. Right? Because there's a responsibility with laying with multiple women and having them as your wife. Right? You got to take care of them. You got to give them a duty of marriage. Got to give them clothing. You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit. So that's not expedient for every man. So what is a man to do? You gonna get you a woman, what they call a lady of the night. That's what it is. It's too easy. It's too simple. It's not a big deal. This is something that our ancient forefathers has always done. This has been a part of our culture. Why are you getting upset about it? And it ain't like something we sit outside and preach about all the time. We say it, we teach it, we say it to give you understanding, we teach it to give you understanding. Hey, brother, hey, this is what you can do, this is what's allowed. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Make sure you protect yourself these day and age. That's it. The fuck, bro? Ain't nobody like, it's not like there's a order. Get prostitutes. Go get prostitutes. Listen, nigga, if you getting hot and heavy in the pants, bro, find you a woman. A lot of you Jakes is going crazy because you fucking got built up tension and you ain't got a woman. So you get you a woman that pay for play, because the woman will be with any man. She don't give a fuck, as long as she getting something out of it. You see? But this dude, he wants to try to virtue signal to bring in more people into his congregation, so he had to speak things that are acceptable amongst his congregation. Right? Speaking about the uses of prostitutes, having multiple wives, and dealing with concubines. Oh, that goes against what these women say, because majority of the congregation are women. Okay? And these women, they don't like competition. Right? But in the kingdom of heaven, you going to have competition. Right? This is coming back to the earth, whether you like it or not. Even before the kingdom of heaven is established on here. Okay? This is the book of Genesis chapter 38, verse 1. And it came to pass that at the time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned to a certain Adulamite, whose name was Harah, and Judah saw there a daughter from a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua, and he took her and went in unto her. And she conceived and bare a son, and she called his name And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah, and she was at Shedra when she bare him. Let me skip down. I'm gonna skip down. I want to read all of this. You brothers can go read this. Salaki. Right? Now, this is verse 6. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn. So Judah got a woman for his son to marry, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, and Yahweh slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, go into thy brother's wife and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. Now, you hear that today, people lose their fucking mind. But guess what? This is a part of ancient Israelite customs. I bet Nate won't do this shit. Right? Because he's against this. Right? This is a part of our culture. If you die without seed, particularly a male child, your brother had to go into your wife and raise up seed because there was you again. Right? And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass when he went into his brother's wife that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. And this thing he did displease the Lord, wherefore he slew him also. Then said to Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain in the window of thy father's house till Shelah my son be grown. And she said, lest peradventure he die also as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And it says, in the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was comforted and went up unto his sheep shearers to Timnah, he and his friends Harah the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, thy father-in-law goeth up into Timnah to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garment off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in upon a place which is by the way of Timnah, for she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. So he was grown, but Judah didn't give him to her like he's supposed to. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her. So Judah thought she was a prostitute. So he was like, yo, I'm about to lay with her, because she covered her face. He didn't see her. And he turned unto her by the way, and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee, for he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, what wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come unto me? And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, what pledge shall I give thee? And she said, thou signet and thy bracelets, and thy staff that is in thine hand. And he gave it her, and came in unto her, and she should conceive, and she conceived by him. So what? He thought she was a prostitute. He ended up knocking her up, which is all spiritual. The Lord set it up that way. You see? But the point of the matter is that our forefathers, they did this. And it wasn't a big deal then. It shouldn't be a big deal now. But by virtue signaling, like you're pure, you're pious, you're on the up and up in this Western society, Nate, you show your ignorance of Israelite culture. That's what you show. For a person who wants people to follow the laws and commandments and understand them, right? And those come from the ancient world. You have little understanding of your own culture. And that's all that shows. And really, you just doing it to defame us here at Great Millstone, starting with the apostles and the bishop elders. It's not a big fucking thing, bro. It's not a thing at all. It shouldn't even be an issue. Right? But, Jake will make anything an issue except prophecy. He ain't going to talk about that. Right? He ain't going to talk about that. That's why the Lord's going to destroy this nigga if he don't repent, man. Right? And so that would say shalom and on to the next.